If your trading plan requires you to feel it out or use your judgment in the moment, you're not following a plan. You're asking your emotional brain to make decisions when it's least equipped to make them. A real trading plan answers 3 questions before you ever see the chart. When do I enter? When do I exit? And how much am I risking? Everything else is commentary. Everything else is noise. These 3 questions are the only ones that matter when money is on the line. The first question is entry. Not good setups or when it looks right. Specific conditions. If this happens and that happens, then I enter. Binary. Either the conditions exist or they don't. Your plan should never ask you to interpret whether something qualifies. It should tell you whether it does. Most traders think they have entry rules when what they have are entry preferences. They like certain patterns. They feel more confident in certain conditions. But preferences require judgment. And judgment under pressure is just fear and greed taking turns at the wheel. Your entry criteria need to be clear enough that someone else could execute them. If you can't write down the exact conditions that must be met, you don't have a rule. You have a vibe. And vibes don't scale. Vibes don't protect you when you're down 3 trades and desperate to make it back. A rule does. Because a rule doesn't care how you feel. It only cares what the market is showing. The second question is exit, both sides of it. Where's your stop and where's your target? Decided before the trade, not during. This is where most plans fall apart. Traders will define an entry and then wing the exit. They'll say, I'll know when to get out. But you won't. Because in the moment, your stop will feel too close and your target will feel too far. Your brain will find a reason to give the trade more room or take profit too early. Not because you're weak, but because that's what brains do. They optimize for feeling better right now, not for following a process over time. Your exit rules remove that negotiation. Stop here. Target there. No exceptions. If the stop gets hit, you're out. If the target gets hit, you're out. You're not managing the trade based on how it feels. You're executing instructions you gave yourself when you were thinking clearly. That's the shift. From active management to pre-planned execution. Most traders think active management makes them better. What it actually does is give their emotions more opportunities to interfere. The third question is position size. How much are you risking on this trade? Not how much you could risk, or how much you want to make. How much are you risking? As a percentage of your account, as a dollar amount, however you measure it. Decide it in advance. Because if you're deciding position size based on how confident you feel, you're not trading a plan. You're gambling with a system that punishes confidence and rewards caution. Position sizing is the question most traders skip. They focus on entries and exits and assume they'll figure out size when the time comes. But that's when overconfidence or fear takes over. After 2 wins, you size up because you feel hot. After 2 losses, you size down because you're scared. Neither decision has anything to do with your edge. Both decisions are just emotions, trying to control risk in real time. Your plan should control risk before real time. That's the whole point. These 3 questions create a structure, if-then statements. If conditions A and B are met, I enter. When price hits X, I exit. I risk Y on every trade, no matter what. Simple. Boring, repeatable. That's what makes it work. Not because it's sophisticated, but because it's executable. You're not deciding whether to take the trade. You're recognizing whether the conditions exist. You're not managing the position. You're following the instructions. You're not sizing based on emotion. You're sizing based on the rule. Everything else you add to your plan is a distraction until you have these 3 questions answered with precision. You don't need more rules. You need clearer ones. You don't need more setups. You need to execute the ones you have. The traders who succeed aren't the ones with the most complex plans. They're the ones who can answer these 3 questions without hesitation and follow through without exception. That's the foundation. Entry, exit, size. If then, no interpretation, no adjustment in the moment. Everything else builds on that. But without it, you're not trading a plan. You're just reacting with a strategy in mind. And there's a difference.